Hello, everybody. So I was working on this thing until 2 in the morning yesterday. I finished it up. It's 59 pages. And what we're going to cover here, and I'm also going to link the document in the description below, but we're going to be talking about lead mining strategies and frameworks we use to get 400 positive replies monthly. So, how we mine and scrape 40K targeted leads a month. So yeah, I'll show you. This is a long document. It's kind of a mixture of more like high level strategies and then specific tactics and SOPs. So in this video, I'll be more talking about like the high level strategies and then the tactics SOPs. You can just, go take a look in the document and maybe give it to a team member or give it to a virtual assistant, and then they can do it for you. So first things first with those leads. And what I'm going to cover in this video is all the different lead sources, also how to do initial research, how to organize and name lead lists, and the different lead sources and how you can leverage them to get more positive replies, to get more clients, more revenue, more customers for your business. So first we'll zoom out, then we'll zoom in a little bit, look at the different lead sources, then we zoom out again. So first thing first, right? You can, if you have Instantly already, you have a really good tool to warm up your sending accounts. You can send a lot of cold emails, but you also need data, obviously, right? So you need good data, you need targeted data, cleaned and verified data. And we recommend a wide variety of sources, which I'm going to cover here. But yeah, like having good data is really important, right? We're saying that lead mining is one of the closest things to modern day gold mining we can get. So basically, with this guide, we want to arm you with pickaxes, tactics, and give you a map where there is a highest chance to find gold. Once you stumble upon a real gold mine, you'll know it right away. Some lead databases can be expensive. I'm only covering lead databases in here that we're using ourselves. So some of them can be really expensive if you just, Google and like pick up a random one, like data can be expensive. But if you do it the right way, if you have the right strategy, the right combination of sources, then you can get away without having to pay a lot for leads and still getting a high amount, a big volume of quality leads. So yeah, just keep in mind, one good lead can be worth 10K, 100K for high ticket B2B offer, depending on what the pricing structure is for your offer. But yeah, one good lead could be, a client that stays with you for a year, 2 years, for your 5K, 10K a month service, whatever it may be. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so how to succeed with this guide is also important. It's more like high level strategy. So just, create a 30-minute calendar event daily to scrape. So important with cold email, just generally in life, right? As you know, if you want to make progress, you just have to be consistent and you have to put in the work consistently and just show up. So just create a 30-minute calendar event daily just to scrape, clean, fill your campaigns with leads, go and build lead lists. At the beginning, you can do it yourself, but I recommend it, after you've done it 10, 15, 20 times, just give it to a team member and they'll be able, to do it for you. Just give them this guide and they'll know how to build lead lists. So yeah, just do it consistently. Also, I recommend doing this yourself at the beginning because you learn about the different filtering options, the different targeting options with the lead sources, right? And then if you have to come up with a new campaign, a new angle, you can think about, you can brainstorm different options, like what could be possible. Okay, who else could we target? Like what's possible? Could we target by technology? Should we target by different title? What kind of countries or regions can we target here? What type of industries there are? What type of keywords? All these things you learn about when you just use it and click around. And this will give you like the unique perspectives, unique insights on some fresh lead lists to build. So yeah, just do it daily and do it consistently. Initial research. This is also important. We have a copywriting avatar cheat sheet here. Let me click on this and open it. just get really clear on like who you're targeting. Who is it that you're targeting? And that way you can create relevant and highly specific lead lists too, right? Do you want to target CEOs, marketing managers, head of business development, or HR directors? Um, is it people who use specific types of software? Let's say you're a Klaviyo agency helping e-commerce stores with their email marketing, or then just find users who are already using Klaviyo, for example. Just a very specific example here. Or you're a branding agency and you want to help e-com stores with their branding. Just like thinking about the e-com niche right now, but there's so many other niches to think about. Like, who's the decision maker in this process? So let's say you are a success coach. Maybe your target audience is more HR directors rather than the marketing managers. So this is stuff you really have to be specific about. And this is also something where you can test offers. You can see, okay, who in the market resonates most with your offer, and then double down on that when you find something good. Also, countries is important. Like, obviously, US is a huge market. It's a really good market. But you can also go outside of the US. You can target Canada. You can target, all the other ones, the English speaking ones, native English speaking ones. But there's also a lot of other countries with high purchasing power that maybe are not as obvious. Maybe Luxembourg, or like Belgium, or Netherlands, or Switzerland, or the Middle East, or Singapore, Panama. Like smaller countries that may be overlooked. Or Scandinavia. Scandinavia is a good one. Everybody speaks English there. They have money. Uh, and yeah, just think about who you can target in terms of geography also. All right. So this covers it. Just get clear on it. It's not only one avatar. You can have multiple different avatars and test different messaging for different segments that may resonate with your offer. All right. Moving on here. Organizing naming lead lists is also good. Like, as you build out your lead lists and you extract all these leads and all that data from the services, just put them into your own Google Drive folder, like name them appropriately, and drop them in there, because you can reuse them in the future, right? Just because you sent a cold email campaign to a batch of leads once doesn't mean you can hit them up again in 2-3 weeks, right? The people that are subscribed are on the block list anyway, so you're not gonna necessarily bother them. Just hit them up again with different subject line, different body copy, and so you can reuse leads and recycle, repurpose leads. So this is where this comes into play as well. Let's go through the different lead sources quickly here. Apollo is a good one. Is cheap. It's effective. So also has good filtering options. It's not the most incredible lead source, but when I look at like the cost versus value, it's a very solid source, and you can really like send high volume with it. So kind of covers the basics of what you can lead, of what you can use for your B2B outreach for cold email. And then you can just layer other more advanced lead sources on top of it. With this one, a little bit of problem with Apollo that I noticed is sometimes, you tell them to just export the verified leads, but they're not actually verified. So you have to run them through a bulk email checker or million verifier, which is a lead list cleaner, which I'll show you at the end of this guide also. So just do this a couple of times and then give this to a VA. For example, in the beginning, when I was starting out with cold email, I was doing this myself a lot. And then now we have someone in the team that does it. And that just, for example, can come up with ideas, and then they go ahead and build the lead list, and, put clean the lead list, and then put it into Instantly. And then maybe me or someone else on the team comes up with some copy. So just give this to someone on your team, or learn it yourself in the beginning, and then you're good to go. Now, next one. Also with Apollo, you can enrich a list of domains. So let's say you only have domains and like the .coms, and you want to find out, okay, what kind of email addresses can I see here for this particular company domain? What kind of people are associated to this domain? which is helpful sometimes, especially with lead lists like Built With or other scrapers. All right, export it. Next good one, sales nav scrapers. There's a good one too. 3 different link stream scrapers, Everboot, lead type, find email. So with lead linked sales nav scrapers, I recommend you learn about Boolean search, right? That you really learn about the search filters, how to. This is also again where your avatar cheat sheet comes in, right? You know when your target audience, so you can apply the filters and apply some of these Booleans to exclude stuff to make sure you're very specific in your search. Here are instructions on how to use these, how to use the LinkedIn scrapers. And then we'll go to the next one. Find email is a great one too. We go to the next one, which is Scrapybird. So with Scrapybird, you can scrape the followers of certain Twitter profiles and find their email addresses and then send them an email. And then, easy transition is in the email as an icebreaker. You can say, hey, I saw your Twitter profile and I thought I'd reach out. And if they're following a certain profile, let's say, random example here, but I was looking at some international tax consulting out of interest, and there's this profile called Nomad Capitalist, and a lot of people follow this profile to find out about, how to set up an international structure for tax optimization. So these people are already interested in that, in tax consulting. Let's say you have a similar offer, just hit them up with a cold email and say, hey, I saw your Twitter profile that you've been following this this person. I do this and that and the other thing. So you can swoop in here. Maybe you have a biohacking offer. Maybe you have a sales coaching offer. Just scrape Grant Cardone followers or whoever is the most popular sales coach right now. If you're targeting a service, if you have a service for accountants or you have a software for accountants, or you help accountants, you help accountants grow their business, go to accounting today or just type in the keyword accounting and then you'll see the most popular profiles. So scrape it, bam, and send it a cold email. You can get really creative here and really create highly targeted campaigns. Built With is a really good source too. You can scrape, you can find technologies that certain websites are using. So let's say certain websites are using a certain CRM software or a certain landing page builder or just software that's on the page, and you have a competitor, you can just find and you have your own product that competes with them. You can just these are customers of this software, right? Let's say you create a CRM that's competing with HubSpot. Just find all the HubSpot users, and then it will give you a list, and then you can enrich that domain list inside of Apollo, get all the email addresses and email them. Verify first though. And here instructions exactly on how to do that too. Crunchbase, good one too. You'll find recently funded companies, startups, B2B, SaaS companies, tech companies are really interesting data source as well. Next one is Launch Gravity. So this one I discovered recently, and it's signal-based data. So for example, it will give you a report of new founders from last month, or it will give you a report of these were companies that were funded last month, right? They were just recently funded. You can swoop in with an icebreaker. Let's say, hey, congrats on getting funded last month, and transition into your pitch. So now they have money. Maybe they need some help with their growth, with their whatever service it is that you're offering. Yeah. So next one is some custom scraping, right? Just some ideas here that you can think about. Sometimes it's good to be outside of the box, because if you're doing stuff outside of the box, it's a really untapped, fresh market. And you can get creative here. For example, in the past, I scraped AngelList. AngelList is also, it's kind of similar to Crunchbase, but there was a lot less competition. So I hired somebody to scrape AngelList for me, and booked a lot of discovery calls through that. Find different directories. Clutch is a good one, a directory for B2B companies. And yeah, you'll find on Upwork or Fiverr, there's plenty of people who know how to scrape stuff, and they can do that for you. G2, Trustpilot, review sites are good to scrape too. Then we have niche specific databases. For example, Gedlatka is a podcast company, and he interviews SaaS companies. So he has like a kind of a directory of different SaaS companies. E-commerce leads. So this one is specific to e-commerce. Let's say, random example here, but it kind of shows you that there's something out there for everybody. There's a directory for almost everybody out there. Like, let's say you're selling your bulk wholesaling MMA equipment, or you have like a marketing program for MMA gyms, like random offer, right? But you can find MMA gyms, just go to the directory, get the domains, enrich them with Apollo or find the email addresses, and then cold email them. And so next thing, lead validation. So once you have your leads, once you have your all your leads ready, they're sitting somewhere on a Google sheet, on a CSV, just make sure that you verify them. So, right, this quote from the Wolf of Wall Street movie: "It's a fugazi, it's a fugazi. It's never landed. It's no matter. It's not on the elemental chart." So, right, it doesn't exist. So sometimes it will say this is a lead that exists, but it doesn't actually exist. So we want to double check ourselves, because the problem is if you send emails to email addresses that don't even exist, it will bounce, and bounces reduce your reputation of the sending account, and then you can get into a downward spiral of bad deliverability and so on. So you don't want to go there at all. So double check, verify. I recommend two tools. Bulk email checker is a good one to verify. It's cheap, a little bit slow, but it does the job. Million verifier is a new one I've been testing. It's more expensive at the lower packages, but if you buy a bigger package, let's say I think it was the 200K or the 150K or the 100K plus credits package, it's the same price as bulk email checker, and it's much faster. Yeah. So depending on what kind of volume you do, if you don't do like very high volume, you can just start with bulk email checker, maybe save a little bit of money there if you're patient. But if you're running high volume anyway and you want things to move much faster, then I recommend Million Verifier to verify everything. And yeah, so this is our guide, 59 pages of pretty much everything you need for cold email and to hire to scale your cold email campaigns. Also, this I talked about hiring lead miners, just having somebody on your team that's really good at lead mining and understands the process is a good move, right? As a business owner, if you're running an agency, if you're running a software company, it's good to understand these things, but you can't, spend too much of your own time, out there like building lead lists. Just have someone else in the team take care of that for you. Then that's it. So 59 pages. Here you'll have all the information you need, really, to really scale your campaigns, to get to hundreds of positive replies a month. And so what are the next steps? Yeah, if you don't have Instantly yet, and you want to get more positive replies of cold email, more scale, better deliverability, better warm up, at a much cheaper cost, then you can sign up for a free trial. Just try it out for 2 weeks, click around, play around with it, see if you like it. And you can really do high volume for a flat fee of $97 per month. Unlimited sending accounts, unlimited warm-up. And try it out. You can try it out for free. So that's it. And let's rock and roll. And I hope you found this helpful. I'll link the document in the description below. Have a good one. Take care.